God the Creator is transcendent, mysterious, inscrutable, beyond the range of any imagining or philosophical guesswork of which we are capable, and hence a summons to us to humble ourselves, to listen. Because of who God is, we need to humble ourselves. We need to let ourselves be small because God is so big. Jesus is so worthy. And I hope that you, along with Paul, could say, I consider everything a loss compared to the surpassing value of knowing Christ Jesus my Lord. Now, if that was the end of the sermon, that would be okay. If that was all that we had to say and all we had to do today, that would be okay. To stop and reflect, even for a lifetime, on the glory and majesty of Jesus would be a life well spent. But I want us to consider what those thoughts will do to us. And so you have homework to go take point number 1 and just dwell on that, to immerse yourself in how worthy Jesus is, to put all your thoughts on him. Point number 2, though, is knowing Jesus makes life worthwhile. How many people do you know, maybe in your workplace or maybe in your family, or maybe if you got really, really honest deep down in your own heart, just feel like you don't have purpose or meaning? Oh, it is rampant in our culture today, this desire for purpose, and yet it feels like our culture is giving us none. All the pleasures of this world don't satisfy us. We have a longing deep in our heart. Here's a quote from the book. It says, "The world becomes a strange, mad, painful place, and life in it is a disappointing and unpleasant business for those who do not know about God. Disregard the study of God, and you sentence yourself to stumble and blunder through life, blindfolded, as it were, with no sense of direction, with no understanding of what surrounds you. This way you can waste your life and lose your soul." Jesus, when he was on this earth, walking and talking, he shared a parable that gives us a glimpse of what life is like when you come in contact with something so valuable, so important, that it changes everything, that it's worth losing everything for. This parable is found in Matthew chapter 13. And there's 2 verses. One about a treasure and one about a pearl. Chapter 13, verse 44. Jesus said, "The kingdom of heaven is like treasure buried in a field that a man found and reburied. And then in his joy, he goes and sells everything he has and buys that field." And similarly, the next verse says there's a pearl merchant who is looking for the greatest pearl, and when he finds it, he sells everything so that he can buy that pearl. But look closely at our verse. In fact, pull it back up here. Matthew 13:44. The kingdom of heaven is like treasure. What does this guy do? What is his reaction when he finds this treasure? It's joy. It's joy. It's not just like a little joy, like, oh, hey, cool, joy. I mean, treasure. Wow, there's some treasure there. That's great. That's a little joy. This guy was so excited about it. It says, in his joy, he goes and sells everything that he has. In his joy. What kind of joy would you have to joyfully sell your house right now? Be like, yes, I get rid of that lame piece of junk that's just really holding me back. It's just a money